Tonight, Mark's dream Johto Pokemon is finally getting its community day. Coops' favourite ghost Pokemon is getting a fancy fucking hat. And Ian still owes me many coffees and many blowies, possibly at the same time, Ian, after I traded him a Schlundo Litwick. Welcome back to the Incensed podcast, people. We hope that you're all good and had a splendid community day. Boys, how are we doing?
You got plenty of coffees at the weekend, sunshine.
No blowies, Ian. No blowies.
For all I know, you might have got the other half.
I can attest and confirm no.
A gentleman never tells, Ian. A gentleman never tells.
Indeed.
Obviously, I do appreciate the intro, Milo, but I just want to let everybody know, just as a reminder in case you forgot, I fucking hate costume Pokemon, just so everyone is on
he
the
doesn't
same
say
page.
it every week.
That's why I said favourite ghost-type Pokemon.
Yeah. Boys, you know what though, right? I feel like the listeners obviously going to know this, but before we start recording, we have a little catch up. We talk about life. We talk about, this, that, and the other. A little bit of Pokemon Go. Obviously, and at the moment, we're just off the back of Litwick Community Day, which was an amazing day. Boys, I just want to just be a bit of a cringe and say that I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I love you all to death, and I mean that. I just wanted to, let's have a positive, amazing episode. Milo's steering the ship. And
God help
us. I just love you guys. I wanted to just put that positivity into the air because I really do love this podcast and I love you guys. Cringe over.
I guess we haven't got a sound effect for it, so it was wonderful to have you over for the weekend, Coopsy.
Sometimes when you just have to say something, I just had to say that I love you all. That's it.
Compelled to say it. Marky boy, all good in your world, matey?
I thought you were going to say all good in his hood.
All good in the hood.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, didn't see you at Community Day really that much, but I'm all right. Nice to see you again. This is probably the longest we've spent. This is probably the longest we've seen each other in probably about a month. Yeah, doing good, thank you.
As I say, we actually spend longer on this recording together than we did on Litwick Com Day, but anywho, as is always with our shows, make sure that you pop that incense.
Pop your incenses, champions. Let's go.
As you're listening, and let us know what you get. If it happens to be a shiny or a hundo, or like one listener did, let us know if your RNG is not on your side. We apologise in advance. You can let us know on our socials at Incensed Podcast on Twitter or Instagram, or via the email incensedpodcast@yahoo.com. Of course, attaching the hashtag Shinies of the Week.
Clarify the spelling for me.
Still gets me, this home slice Henry doing that, not me. It's weird. SHINIESOFTHEWEEK.
Nosh.
Zoe, what time is it?
And now, children, it's time for Getting to Know You with the Incensed Podcast.
Nicely cued there, Ian. This is random as fuck, this question. I have a habit. Okay.
That was me after Com Day, Milo?
Hey. Not from Ian, so he still owes me something at least. Anyway,
he does.
I've done a little bit of motorway driving over the last few days. It sort of got me thinking of something a bit random.
You go from a cup of coffee to a blowy.
Maybe you could do this in the question context that I'm going to provide. If you could choose a mode of personal transport for an individual, has to then make it sort of mandatory to make city travel less mundane and boring, what would you pick? And as I attached in the show notes, it could be as ridiculous as you like. So you can make something up, or you could repurpose something that you think is daft and stupid. Would you like me to lead with my suggestion just to give some clarification?
I would, but I'd also like to point out to our listener that it also says in the show notes, please let me know if this question is a bit shit.
Which none of you did, so it's your own fucking fault.
Mate, wait for my answer. My answer is wild. I really like this. My answer's crazy.
So you're probably on my vibe. I like this. So.
Yeah. It's probably the first ever Getting to Know You I've actually thought about as well. I've got a good answer. I think you lot are going to enjoy it.
Thought-provoking. I thought it'd be quite funny to spice up. Could you imagine, centre of London, city of London, everyone's going to work on a space hopper?
Oh, okay.
I think it would it might be a bit difficult to play Pokemon Go while you're on it, but I thought it would just be like a simple mode of transport, bit of exercise, and it'd just be a bit funny to see it.
Would you actually call a space hopper a form of transport, though?
You move on it. In my head, it's no different from a bicycle, other than it might be easier to produce.
Ian, you clearly read the show notes, and it does say you can be as ridiculous as you like. God, stop being so horrible to Milo.
If you want to literally strap hedgehogs to your feet, you can. We don't condone strapping hedgehogs to your feet on this show. Anyway, that's my suggestion. I'd love to see everybody go into Community Day on a space hopper just for shits and giggles.
Fair enough.
I want to hear what you've come up with.
No. Let me go last because I feel like this deserves a Mark's poll as well. Marky boy, you go first. I'll go last. I'll save mine.
There's a few things I have like issues with Milo on this question. Is I don't live in a city, so you kind of I don't.
Why does no one let me know this?
So like I love all this like we live in London and we can walk and commute between places all day long. Right, if you try to do that for 20 miles just to get to work, sunshine, you ain't gonna be fucking around on a space hopper. So let's get that bit straight. So
that's why I said city travel.
Also, secondly, you use your feet when you're playing Pokemon Go. It wouldn't be mandatory that you'd have when you're walking. You'd still be able to walk when you're obviously be space hopping in your offices.
It was just an example.
You know what? I'm gonna dig it out. I am digging out the shots fired.
Yeah. We need the sound effect. It's been a few weeks, isn't it?
I think because Mark lives rurally, he might be abstained from using or being mandatorily utilised.
And Ian's up north, and you guys are in the city, so it's like it feels like a bit of a strange question to think
about.
Not
to go to visit for a con day.
It is. So if it's got to be mandatory, let's get the spirit of it, because I know Coops wants to go last because this is probably well thought through. If it's mandatory for someone who's rural, it's not going to be something that's going to shoot me in the foot. So I've got to think about that.
Okay.
So if it's, I'm not going to space hopper, am I? Jesus Christ.
No, not a 20 commute. That might be a bit extensive.
Yeah, I was going to say, bloody hell, Mike, that's a great question. You can tell I'm not giving it any thought, can't you?
You will have in the edit, don't worry.
Yeah, true.
I don't have one here, Milo. I don't have one. I really haven't got one, mate. I can't think of...
Pick a cow.
Saddle a cow.
Why not?
Yeah, that'll get you somewhere quick.
It'd be bad if it rained. They'd all lie down. You wouldn't go anywhere.
That's true. Gone in.
Okay, so I did give maybe a couple of moments thought to this question when I looked at it and thought, oh my God, is Milo smoking something a bit strange when he came up with this question? But then I thought, thinking back many, many years, there was a film that I found hilarious called Paul Blart Mall Cop. Thinking about like cities, you get these little hop-on, hop-off bikes where you can just buy them, rent them, just drop them off, and then you pay for what you actually do in them. Segways. You have to go everywhere on a Segway. That would be pretty cool. Especially if you're going downstairs. That would be quite interesting.
That would be cool.
Watching people fall off and just really struggle.
Apparently they're really hard to use.
Yeah, Segways is my answer.
Upstairs, you'd be able to go upstairs.
Upstairs.
Oh,
no. Anyway.
Plus, you could actually play Pokemon Go with it. You could actually mount it on the front and play Pokemon Go.
I guess you'd get a dash holder for your phone.
Well, your eggs quicker off, Ian, as well. That'd be good. If it was under 50 miles an hour, mate, you'd be winning.
Just think of the Daily Adventure Incensed. Woo.
I don't think they go that quick.
I've got one that goes like 12 miles an hour. It's great.
Well, yours is a hoverboard, it's not a Segway.
It's technically classed in the same bracket as a Segway. It's just the Segway you're thinking of.
You need to balance on your one. You can,
Mine's more dangerous.
Yeah, bro. Facts.
Coopsy, I want to hear this madness.
All right, so picture this. Pogomalo UK, Masterful 27, Ian Waterfall. Actually, a little quick FYI, Marky Boy, I'm going to let you know, this is fucking wild, my answer, and I don't like how you ripped into Milo, so can you just don't rip into me, yeah? I'm letting you know, this is ridiculous, okay? And I don't want you to take the piss out of me.
If it suits rural life, mate, you won't get ripped. You're right.
Oh, mate, you're going to love this. All right, so... Who remembers, as a kid, like you go on holiday, you maybe be at a resort, at a hotel, and in the swimming pool, you could get like blow up killer whales and blow up dolphins and blow up sharks, and they have the little handles on. You can sit on them and you can ride them. You can ride them through the pool, bloody, 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 blah. What I think should be a mode of transport is these, let's say, inflatable killer whales. They should be able to like fly, so like you, so you should be able to. Like, wait, hear me out. So like the first thing is that obviously you can blow them up and then get rid of the air, so they're like really portable. So you can like literally fold them up and put it in your pocket, and then you blow them up and you can sit on it. It's comfy, and you can choose depending on your height and weight whether you need a killer whale, a dolphin, or a shark. And I'm open to other sea life animals as well. And then you kind of use them and you just say, right, Shamu, I need to go to Ealing. And when I say flying, I don't mean like flying like up to like Mars and back. I'm talking like maybe like 5 4 or 5 meters off the floor, so kind of like
hovering,
a hover.
essentially.
Yeah, so like,
Okay.
and everyone, yeah, so everyone would basically be going like 30, 40, 50 miles an hour.
5 meters, wouldn't it just be the same as everyone was at ground level?
Yeah, good point, Ian, because everyone would be on them, wouldn't they?
Yeah, so, but anyway, that was kind of like my mandatory mode of transport.
I want to dig into this. How would you make them fly? Because obviously the air from your lungs isn't light enough to make them fly. Helium's not heavy. You would need about 100.
Well, get a fat fucking whale. We had the whale lords on last week.
It's not like up.
I'm just thinking, like you've created like a personal Zeppelin almost.
Yeah. So, but you know, again, obviously, Ian's going to dig into me. Of course, it's me. Of course, he's going to fire shots and dig into me. I'm just looking at the
technical aspects of how it would work.
How much do you want for this venture then? What's the investment look like for this thing
how much
you're doing?
percent?
Bro, I'll be. What was that segment we did weeks ago that died and we never brought back? Yeah, that was it. Can we have a moment of silence for you? I pitch you.
Rest in peace.
I don't even know what it's fucking called. But yeah, like I said, obviously I'm open to offers. I'm open for people to DM me. How would I describe it? Inflatable killer whales? No, I don't know how do you explain
You're
this
basically
to someone?
thinking of like mini Zeppelin water inflatables or something.
Yeah. Water inflatables. Yeah.
Do you know what I love about it, Coops? Is you made it sound like bowling, where you have different weight balls depending on different finger size holes, and you pick the one that suits you. You're like going, well, if you're slightly overweight, you'd get the killer whale. If you're like a little bit slimmer, you get the penguin or whatever it was.
The dolphin. Yeah, see, bro, I didn't say penguin, but I'm open to bring in other animals. So everybody's basically going round. And the thing is, I like the handles as well. So you've got something to hold on. So no seatbelts. You just got the two. They're normally like dark blue handles that you hold.
Yeah.
So listen, after electric cars, we will be seeing inflatable dolphins.
I like that. I like that. You'll be stopped by the police and do you know how fast your great white shark was going?
Could you imagine?
Would there be an inflatable cow as part of the selections, or is it got to be flying animals?
No. I'll be honest with you. Because it's you, there will 100% be a cow.
Thank you. That'd be more reliable than a real cow, I think. An inflatable cow. I think that's potentially. I could always bounce in, couldn't I, Milo? I could use a space hopper tendency on the cow, couldn't I?
Space hopper, yes. You put the inflatable cow on top of the space hopper.
Helium ain't going to float that cow, is it? Let's be honest. So I might use a ground hopping inflatable cow.
Then you'll be riding a bouncing cow.
And just think, you could have like inflatable octopuses, and it could carry like 8 people on it. So it's not just one.
That's the new bus.
Yeah.
The new bus is an octopus. The new images of Piccadilly Circus is just filled with these fucking floating octopus.
A double-decker octopus. I'm dead.
Oh my god, that's quality. Do you know what? I think we should put this to the vote of the people. What's the next What's the next form of transport?
Boris had his bikes. I think they're all better than that, aren't they?
Is that a killer whale? Yeah. Is that a dolphin? What do they sound like?
Yeah, something like that. Well, boys, thank you very much. Well, at least one of you didn't rip into the question, but we'll see which one's easier to play Pokemon Go while actually using. Possibly the cow. It might be the most simple to ride. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if you can hear that. I can hear. I think it's Nick and Reversal are actually fighting at the back of the studio. See who's going to produce the part of
is the news.
Well, there we go. Reversal won, clearly. The first part of the news is over to the rural trainer, Masterful 27.
I had a feeling that Reversal would win that battle, and I'm pleased he did, because I love Reversal. I like Nick. I've got nothing against Nick, but I love Reversal. So, he lives longer. Guy. Anyway, interesting. Talk about Nick and Reversal. Did Nick have bats in his pants, was he saying on Twitter? Sorry, going off topic now. He had some bats in his flat, didn't he?
He had bats. 2 bats arrived in his flat at like the middle of the night.
Noibats. I hope they were shiny.
They're still there. They were hiding all day in his flat. They could, he'd opened the window and they didn't escape.
They were comfy.
He's hatched too many eggs.
Teddiursa is going to be Community Day. And for those who listen back to maybe the last 3 months of podcasts, hope you all have been, They've stayed true to the predictions that were on Reddit. The last couple all followed suit, and Teddiursa was the hat trick. And it's going to be on Saturday, we like Saturdays, November the 12th. The only downside is that the clocks will have gone back by the time this one comes around, and we've stayed with the traditional 2 till 5 p.m. local time. Hang on, is that a full moon during the day? Ursaluna, the Pete Pokemon, never knew it was called that, will make its Pokemon Go debut during this event, which I think adds a bit of spice to this one. Evolving Ursaring during a special full moon will get you an Ursaluna. So the featured Pokemon, as we've said, will be Teddiursa. And if you're lucky, you might encounter a shiny one. What it should say is, if you're really unlucky, you won't find one all day. Or certainly for the 3 hours and the extra.
Might not read so well.
And the additional 6 hours they give you nowadays. But yes, now the information about Ursaluna is if you evolve Ursaring, you will get that Ursaluna that knows the charge attack high horsepower.
Woo, new move.
New move. Trainer battle 100 power move, and a gyms and raids 110 power move. We're going to get full moons in the sky. How does this work? So from Saturday, November the 12th at 2 p.m. to Sunday, November the 13th at 6 a.m. local time, a full moon will appear in the Pokemon Go skies. While the full moon is visible, you'll be able to evolve your Ursaring into Ursaluna. And once the moon sets, you will only be able to evolve your Ursaring to Ursaluna when the moon is full again. 100 Teddiursa candy will get you enough candy to evolve Ursaring into Ursaluna. There will be the Community Day special research story, a sweet snack. You're also able to purchase the tickets for your friends. This has been a feature in the game for a little while now. So we'll get to the good stuff, the fun stuff. We've got the event bonuses. We're going to start with Milo's favourite bonus.
It's my favourite bonus.
Whee.
Yes, that is 3 times catch Stardust.
Whee.
Nice.
Okay.
So we'll be getting 2 times candy for catching Pokemon. There'll be a 2 times chance for trainers level 31 and up to receive XL candy from catching Pokemon.
Nice.
Lure modules activated during the event will last for 3 hours, as will Incense activated during the event. A double win there. Take 5 snapshots during Community Day for a surprise. I still forget to do them, by the way. I'm awful at them. 1 additional special trade can be made for a maximum of 2 for the day, and trades made during the event will require 50% less Stardust. So, the bonus raid battles after Community Day. From 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. local time, trainers will be able to take on special 4-star raid battles, and claiming victory in one of these raids will cause more Teddiursa to appear around the gym that hosted the raid for 30 minutes. And what is that 4-star Pokemon or 4-tier Pokemon about? Yes, it is Ursaring. Remote raid passes cannot be used to join these raids. There will also be stickers, and you'll be able to get these event-themed stickers by spinning Pokestops, opening gifts, and purchasing them.
Yes, fucking yes, let's go.
Do you know what I love about this is like, and I love it. Listen, this is my cynical side. Is you'll be able to get event-themed stickers by spinning Pokestops, opening gifts, or buying them from the in-game shop.
It's buy them. Fuck that.
Buy them. Buy them.
Buy your stickers. No.
Good news, Milo. Walpole Park is still on the approved list of parks on the announcement.
Just be aware, it isn't fucking lit.
Croydon?
I was looking for somewhere a bit more local this time.
Ian, I agree. Going to Croydon when it gets dark earlier is dangerous. Going there when it doesn't get dark earlier is still dangerous. But
on a full moon.
Milo, take it on the road again.
We may take it on the road. I got you to read that bit out because obviously, if we hark all the way back to February for Johto Tour, you and I got the gold tickets to try and get shiny Teddiursa, and it still evaded you. So how are you feeling about this com day, Marky?
We'll let the listeners into a bit. So I have got my first Teddiursa, and it is one that I caught actually whilst I was at home. It wasn't one that was traded. I wasn't going to trade this one to me because it was one that I felt that I needed to get in the correct way. So I have got one. If I hadn't got one going into this com day, I think I'd probably have treated this like Dino Com Day in a bizarre way. I'd have probably just caught 3 and left it and been done with it. I kind of don't like to have like hundreds of ones that I've not got. I like the hunt, the chase for it. But I've got one, so I'm probably just going to get I just want to get loads. I'm more interested about the fact that those people that paid the ticket got their ones on the event and how they feel about it, because this has happened quite soon after, hasn't it? This isn't like a long way down the line.
Yes.
This is... it's not like a year and a half later, is it? This is
February, weren't it? End of February. We made the choice back then that I got one on the Johto Tour, but it's like, for me, I'm thinking Stardust, and then Ursaluna.
Yes.
Like, it looks set to be pretty good, actually. Like, I've done some rough calculations on that high horsepower move. If it's a clone of Outrage, which I think is the worst of the 110 power gym and raid battle moves, Ursaluna is going to be a really, really good ground type attacker for raids.
Oh, really, mate?
Yeah, because he gets Shadow Claw, which is obviously really good for generating energy, and high horsepower will be pretty deadly. If they make it like a clone of Rock Wrecker or Meteor Mash like Metagross, it will be seriously good, which is cool.
Yeah, because we've got no stats at the moment, have we? No, nothing.
Well, no stats of what it's actually going to be like in terms of energy, etc. for PvP. But it's just sort of like 110 power for the move. I also really like the name. The name of the move is quite funky. Yeah. High horsepower. Gives it some zest.
Yeah, I agree. It's new though, isn't it? Like, it's proper new. That could be another inflatable, by the way, horse. Just saying.
Just throw all animals in the pool.
Yeah. I don't want to become that guy, but just letting everyone know.
If you're not well off, you've got to take like a waterfall or something.
Yeah. But sorry, Ian, what about you, bro? What do you like it?
It's just another community day. I'm not overly excited about it. It's there. After Litwick, anything they gave us would be a bit of a letdown, so they may as well let us down properly.
No, I'm like you, bro, because to be honest, I was really shocked. Obviously, I know we have our guesses, we see Reddit, we see, we see all of that. I understand that. Genuinely, I was a bit like, oh, okay, like Teddiursa, it's okay. Like, I'm with Ian, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's not amazing, it's okay. You know what I mean?
And that's it. You tend to find that you get your sort of okay/average ones with Stardust bonus, because they're not going to give you a hot mon with that bonus.
Always, yeah.
But though, with saying that, like, new Pokemon, is it Ursaluna?
Yeah.
I think that's dope. Like, genuinely, I think that's incredible.
Brand new Pokemon, shiny, everything with it, you know.
Listen, I like 3-stage evolutions, right? We all do. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's it's not a shitty 2-stage one. Obviously, it was, but it's not now. No, I'm hype. I think this is good. And to wrap it up nicely, I think it's a really lovely way to end 2022's community days. I really do. I don't think it's the worst one there at all. Then obviously we'll have to December, the same as always. Bring on January. I think it's a nice way to wrap up the end of the year for sure.
Couldn't agree more. Moving on. Ian seems to have donned a lecturer's cap. It seems like he's set for a game of... Oh, I forgot we don't have a name for the jingle.
Okay, so we thought we'd drag this game out of mothballs. It's been a very long time since we've actually played this in its pure form. So name that Pokemon. I'm going to give you the name of a Pokemon in a different language, either German, French, or Japanese. You're going to tell me what that Pokemon's name is in English, and there's going to be a couple of clues that don't really help you very much along the way. The first Pokemon that we're going to start with today, and the ones I've picked today, I'm going to butcher all of the pronunciations. So let's start with one in German. And the Pokemon's name is Makabaja. And that is not how it's pronounced. I couldn't even tell you the correct pronunciation. Makabaja or Makabaja.
Makahita.
Teddiursa.
Machop?
No. Okay, Machop is Macholo, bro.
Well, I don't know that.
Yeah, when I was in Vienna. Macholo.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scoops.
So no, I'm just saying for future, I think it is called Macholo. Yeah, Macholo. I'm sure it is in... Anyway, sorry, this isn't about Machop.
Okay, so your next clue is, this is a Generation 5 Pokemon.
I don't know my Gen 5 that well, so...
I love it when a clue doesn't help me out at all.
Yes.
None of them will help you, except for probably the last one.
Okay, why not? Rog and Roller, why not? Oh, God damn it.
Minccino.
I've just completely forgotten all of Gen 5. Conkelda?
No, do you want another clue?
Yeah,
yes, please.
Yeah. Please.
Okay, so the clue so far, the name Makabaja, it's Gen 5. Its Pokédex number is 562.
That doesn't help.
It's not meant to.
Oh, God.
If anyone gets it now, they're looking at their Pokedex. So it's not a fucking shot. Anyone gets it now, they're fucking cheating. I'm saying it now. Right.
Hands are up here.
Yamask.
Oh,
you jammy prick.
But no, he's not a jammy prick. He was looking down the bottom of his fucking phone.
That's what I mean. He's a jammy fuck.
Mark, look.
I know you.
I'm going to get you back on that one someday. I'm going to get you back on that someday.
Sorry.
Minus one to Coops. Marco Milo was 0, so we're winning. Milo
0.
Since he owned up to, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give him the point.
Yes, Ian, that's what we like.
So we'll all get our phones out, Milo.
Give Coops the benefit of the doubt. So Coops, would you like French, German, or Japanese?
Oh, Ian, I will go. Let's go français. Let's go for français.
Français. Okay, so your French Pokemon's name is Gringolum.
Golett.
Oh,
well
for God's
done.
sake!
Yes.
No, well done, Milo.
Oh yes. And no Dex, I didn't know which generation, so
And I think there's a Halloween theme to all these now, so I'm on tune now. Well
Quite
done,
possibly.
Milo.
There might be. We are in the Halloween event currently. Whitfield, French, Japanese, or German?
Let's complete the trio. Japanese.
Okay, so your Pokemon is...
Gonna be mispronounced.
Yeah, Mikorugi.
Pumpkaboo.
Pumpkaboo.
Oh, actually, to be fair, I didn't write the English down, so let me just double check my...
I love that. I don't know the answer, actually.
Oh, we're both wrong anyway. For the win, Milo.
Phantomp.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Do you know what? Ghastly. Something easy. Oh, fuck off, Ian.
Gengar.
Burnett. Can we have a clue?
Your next clue, other than Japanese, is this Pokemon is from Generation 4.
Noibat. Coops. What's he doing? You right there, Coops? I can't see your eyes.
He's quickly scrolling through.
No.
Gen
Bro,
4.
on my life, I'm not. I swear down.
Swear down.
Did you accept Shuppet as my answer?
It's Gen 4, he said. It's Gen 4 is the clue, wasn't it?
Oh,
yeah?
I don't know.
Miss Magius.
Ooh, Misdreavus.
Okay. Pokedex number of 442.
Spiritomb.
Stop looking, Mark. Yeah! What did you say?
He said Spiritomb.
No way!
Oh my god.
Are you serious, bro?
Nice one. He didn't even have to dive into his phone.
Did you remember that from when it was in the event last year?
I just guessed it. Well, it was in the event last year, yeah, but I just guessed it.
Nice one.
Jesus.
I completely forgot about Spiritomb because it's not in the fucking event.
No, it's not.
So we are now on a
We'll get to that.
three-way tie. The next correct answer wins the game. Masterful 27. Would you like to go French, German, or Japanese?
Japanese, please, Ian.
Well, you would say that. 1 second.
It takes ages for us to guess it.
Exactly. If we'd gone French, Coops would have got it straight away. He'd gone...
Your last Pokemon of the night is Baketcha.
Murkrow.
Burnett.
Your second clue is this is from Generation 6.
Oh, bro, it's got to be Punky Boo.
Punky.
Yes!
Punky Boo, that's not his called, is it, Ian? Pumpkaboo, yeah.
I was going to say, he pronounced it first when he gave it as an answer before, so I think he can actually have that.
Yes.
Thank
well
you.
done, Coops.
So, Coops for the win.
Did I
Nice
just
one.
win? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
You
GG's,
won.
boys.
Name that Pokemon. Well
You're my
done.
little
Gee bloody
Pumpkaboo.
G's. Not for another fucking game. Milo, you'll be like, and now, because you won the game, your prize is you get to read out the part 2 of Halloween.
Well, funny you say such a thing. Actually, it's funny, Ian, that you've ended the Name That Pokemon round on Pumpkaboo. A cracking game. If we need to wield that game out a bit more, I think, it'd be nice. But Casual Coops getting a bit excited because Pumpkaboo is the pumpkin with the bunda. New shiny release is coming in part 2 of...
It's the news.
I love Nick. What a lovely guy. I love Nick. What an absolutely... No, you're going to cut that out anyway, so it's pointless.
No, I'm not.
No, that's staying in, Incensed. That's staying in.
Well, thank you very much, Pogo Milo UK. So, boys, we have had the Pokemon Go Halloween 2022 Part 2, which has just been released. By the way, I hope everyone... Are we enjoying Part 1, by the way, gents? Is everyone enjoying Part 1? No? Okay.
I'll let you know when I get a chance to play.
No, Ian.
I'm going to be honest, Coops, before you delve into it. It's not great. But anyway, moving on.
Okay.
Moving on.
So there you are, Nancy. No. I will just say though, I am actually slightly enjoying it. But anyway,
Exactly, there's ginger
so
Pokestops
guys,
out,
this
Coops.
Yeah, that's exactly. Oh, by the way, let's talk about
that.
The overworld map looks bloody brilliant at the moment. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
That's the best thing of the event.
I have to agree. It's definitely been a cool change. They definitely got inspired off that designer that did it like 2 years ago. Do you remember on Twitter? He did it years ago.
Yeah, somebody did a whole map revamp. So yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they did this for like maybe a Christmas one as well. But anyway, moving swiftly on.
Well, actually, Coops, before we started recording, Niantic Pokemon Go did tweet out saying that there will be updates to the overworld map soon. Keep your eye out. So whether they're referring back to this event retrospectively and kind of like half-arsed, or whether there will be changes to the overworld map in coming weeks, it did say keep your eyes open, so we'll see what happens.
We shall see.
Yeah, definitely adding in cool elements like this is a great thing, Niantic, so keep that up. But part 2 is going to start on Thursday at 10 a.m. local time on October the 27th, and it's going to end at 10 a.m. local time. Such a weird time to end an event, but it's going to end on Tuesday, November the 1st. So yes, part 2 is a little bit shorter, I think, if that's correct in saying, than part 1, just Indeed. A little bit. But yes, we are going to be having some Pokemon debuts. And Milo was definitely taking the piss from my introduction on today's show. But we've got, oh my God, am I really doing this? We've got some new spooky festival costume Pokemon.
Yay! Especially since everyone was bitching about it last week.
Yes, I'm happy.
Yeah. So for this event, we are going to get Vulpix wearing a spooky festival costume. We are going to also obviously get Ninetales wearing a spooky festival costume, which is very weird because Vulpix can be shiny, but Ninetales can't. So maybe Ninetales is going to be in the wild, and that's not an evolution. I'm a bit confused there looking at that. What does that mean?
You probably won't be able to encounter it in the wild as a shiny, but you can evolve a shiny to it.
Okay, interesting. Gengar will also be wearing, I don't know why I keep saying spooky festival outfit. You're going to get Vulpix, Ninetales, Gengar, Pump, Kaboo, and
Gorgeist.
Gorgeist. Yeah, but obviously please bearing in mind that the Gengar wearing the spooky festival costume will only be appearing in raid battles. That will not be in the wild. Okay, now moving on to the time research. Of course, guys, you're going to get that $1 and that $5 one. If you're like me, a casual, and you haven't actually purchased any of these from part 1, and to be honest, I probably won't purchase any moving in part 2. But if you do want to purchase them, make sure you purchase them during part 2, and that's going to be able to be completed until Tuesday, November the 1st, as I said, at 10 a.m. local time. So in regards to eggs, the eggs look like they're going to be exactly the same as well, boys. To part 1, you're going to get shiny Yamask, shiny Galarian Yamask, and then non-shiny Phantom Golett, and of course the new shiny Noibat. Boys, correct me if I'm wrong, that looks like that's exactly the same.
It is copy-paste.
It is copy-paste. But now something that's a little bit different, and we're going to go around in a circle here. You are going to get some wild encounters just on the normal gameplay. So I'll start off. You're going to be getting, which can be shiny, Pikachu wearing a Halloween mischief costume.
Vulpix wearing a spooky festival costume, which can be shiny.
Zubat, which won't have a costume, but obviously can be shiny.
Haunter that can't be shiny.
Spinarak, which can be.
Murkrow, which can be.
Misdreavus, which can be.
Dax's favourite Pokemon and Coops' favourite Pokemon. Sableye that can be shiny.
It is, Marky, you're correct. Also can be shiny, Shuppet.
Unfortunately, Dusclops is still a thing, so...
I got one earlier, by the way.
Yeah. It can't be shiny if you're not aware.
One of Milo's favourite Pokemon from last year, Piplup, wearing a Halloween mischief costume.
Yamask, not wearing a Halloween mischief costume, but can be shiny.
And I'll quickly do 2, the same as part 1. God, boys, these are really repetitive. But obviously, which can't be shiny, you've got Golett and Phantom.
And to round out, the new shiny for the event, which will turn purple.
Drum roll, please.
Is Pumpkaboo wearing a spooky festival costume.
Ooh.
In fact, Zoe 2 dots are like this. It's got a bow on its face.
Avatar items are the same. Lavender Town music is the same. Event bonuses, can someone shoot me, is the same. But now let's move on to raids, because it's a little bit different. So, of course, we are finally, guys, after... Milo's going to know the exact date. After so long, we are going to be getting back the... Is it... No way, bro. Is it actually?
Just over, I think.
Over 2 years, we are finally going to get back Origin Form Giratina, which is an incredible, offensive, attacking legendary Pokemon. And this can be caught, of course, from Thursday, October the 20th until Tuesday, November the 1st. Because, like I said, God, it's so shit. You don't have long at all. Of course, this is going to also know Shadow Force, the same as the Altered Form did as well. That's going to be a new charge attack, which is pretty cool. And to be honest, there's only one person to pass it over. over to announce the raids. And I want to apologise to you all. Sorry, 1-star raids are exactly the same as they were for part 1. So I really do hope you're enjoying raiding those purloins. Let us know. Let us know if you did get a hundo. But I am going to pass you over to the man that constantly does raid 3-star raids. And that is going to be the one and only Ian Waterfall.
Oh, me? Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Wow. 3-star raids. Well, you're going to fill your boots with these. You've got the chance to raid for Gengar, wearing a spooky festival costume. Umbreon, which cannot be shiny. Drapion, which cannot be shiny. Phantom, which cannot be shiny. But
sorry,
there's also with the 1-star rates.
Can we just appreciate Phantom is in the wild? It does not deserve to be in a 3-star raid. Can we just say that?
But it's also got 1-star raids as well.
Raids.
That's got to be a mistake.
It's in 2 raids. I'm sure they can't either not putting it in or Trevenant's going in there.
Yeah, that's got to be a mistake. It's got to be Trevenant, hasn't it?
There is
thinking about it.
No way. If you raiding a 3-star Phantom, I'm dead. Sorry, Ian. Sorry.
To quote Coops, they had one job.
Yeah, they had one job, bro. They had one job.
The icing on the cake with the 3-star raids, JT Valor will be wetting himself. Milo will be wetting himself. And I know that Roldy from the Whalers podcast will be wetting himself. Driftblim wearing a Halloween mischief costume that can be shiny.
Ooh. And apart from that, guys, just to wrap up part 2 of the news, Mega Burnett is obviously, you know that, it's days old now. You probably all got your Mega Energy, you don't need to do any more. You know, rest in peace, Mega Burnett.
You only need to do one, it's 100 Mega Energy to evolve it.
Yeah. And I'm not going to go over the free research task encounters because they're really all samey. Jesus Christ, this is the same. I can't believe this. You're going to also get Gegamenga. You're going to get Gengar Mega.
Generation 9.
Oh my god.
Bro,
honestly, this article has messed with my head so much. And then, of course, Absol Meg. Boys, be honest. This Halloween event's been shit, hasn't it? Let's be honest. And we were all looking forward to part 2. And I know costume people are going to love Vulpix wearing a spooky hat. But this is shit. Or am I being negative?
I'm going to jump in quickly because I think we've got... No. Because when we did the poll last week... We said, before we knew what was happening, which of these shiny Pokemon would we like to see released? Talking from a shiny perspective only.
Yes.
I'm not saying that the whole event's great by any chance. We're getting a new shiny. We're going to go on a Pumpkaboo grind of all the different size Pumpkaboos that can all be shiny, that can all be evolved. And this is something that we spoke about, saying they've missed opportunity with that. That would be great. And they're putting it in the game. So there's something to hunt. And they spawn everywhere. Pumpkaboos are one of the most common spawns in this event. So I think that is going to be a chase in itself. Ignore the fact they've got the hat and the little bow. There's a lot of different ones available. It gives an aspect to the game. Has it progressed much from last year's one? No. But I want to have a little moment of nostalgia here because actually the last time the 4 of us were together, we were in Liverpool raiding Driftblim wearing a Halloween costume.
Yeah. Yes, we were.
Liverpool. I didn't get the shine. I was raiding hard for it. So, but it was a moment when you said it then. Yeah. Like we talk about us all getting back into it as a foursome again, but that was probably the last time, not all in it, but we were all together as a foursome, and I like that. But when you said it then and you read it out, I didn't see that had been released as part 2. I'd almost overlooked that one, and it made me think of Liverpool immediately when we were all together, and I thought it was quite nice. It's shit. Part 2 is shit, Coots. Yeah, no, I'm joking. No. I like it. There's something in there, but yeah.
I'm with you, Marky Boy, because like we were craving a new shiny, something to chase, and the first 7 days of the event are flat. The wild spawns are dead if you've been playing the game for more than 3 years.
Shut it.
XLs? I guess if you're chasing XLs for whatever it is, Yamask for Ultra League, I got told, is a possibility. I don't know. But the fact you've got a new shiny, as Mark says, there are 4 different sizes, so you need 8 shinies, and they all have to correspond to extra small, small, large, and extra large. That's going to be a grind. That is a hardcore grind to go for, and it's only 4.5, 5 days, this part 2. I'm like the opposite side of the fence to Coops. He doesn't like his costume Pokemon. I perfectly see why. I like the additional little hunt. We've seen at Worlds that Shadow Ninetales can be utilised in PvP somewhat, if you know how to use it. Get a Shadow PvP, because... Remember Shinx the Fashion Week got the top hat? Maybe you can get the Shadow Vulpix with the costume. I'm more excited for this 50% or like 40% of the event than the first 60% of the event. Let's put it that way.
I understand that. No, listen, I apologise. I get it. Like I said at the start, I loved you all. Mark's getting a bit nostalgic from last year. The vibe's great, positive vibes. And I'm not being negative. I'm just saying the map looks amazing. Ian said that earlier. Totally agree. Raid bosses, I cannot slag off the raid bosses. Altered form, then origin form. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. New mega, brilliant. I just think the gameplay, the natural free-to-play gameplay is just very weak. That's all I'm saying. I just think it's weak and below par, like you said, Milo, if you've been playing this game for a long time. You know, these were the spawns that I was seeing 3, 4, 5 years ago. But I do agree, part 2 with the shiny pumpkin, because like Mark said, they are everywhere, right? So imagine that these things that you're avoiding clicking on now, in 4 or 5 days time, you're going to be clicking on every single one. So I understand that. I just think for me, as a Halloween event once a year, you know how I feel about these Christmas Halloween events, I do think it's under par, but that's just my opinion.
What about you, Vassafal?
I'll round it off. Yes, part 2 definitely looks better than part 1. But I think it was me that said last week, when you were all complaining about costumes and shinies and new releases, I said, wait till part 2. And you know what? We've got something new there. I definitely think that for the costume hunters, yeah, okay, there's something there. I'm kind of a little bit indifferent, but going back to Coops' point about the don't do anything new, there's only so much you can really do with a Halloween event. You can't really reinvent the wheel too much. The overland map, like I mentioned earlier, looks fucking awesome, and that in itself is a good enough addition to part 1 to keep me happy. The problem is, and I've said this before, that people get too bitter and expect too much from an event. Just enjoy what you've got. Halloween is just a spooky time of year that comes around every 12 months. We've got 2 weeks of innovative gameplay. The spawns might not be the best, but we've got something good. And to cap the Halloween event off, we've got another nice little event for a couple of days, which, again, will just bookend it. I'm quite happy with where the game's at the moment with this event.
You are content.
I'm content.
Content with content. I like that.
With the content.
And like you said there, Ian, I think you're absolutely right. With the variety of Halloween Pokemon that are now out in the game, next year, 23, you could almost have the same event. If you drop Shiny Phantom in it, just adds a whole new level.
Exactly.
Like, those that'll go, it's just another year recycled with one new one. But you see that this has got 2-3 more years in it quite easily. But of all the shinies we spoke about,
and you know what?
Pumpkaboo was the best one.
The event has moved forward. They've not been advertising Spiritomb during the event. It has moved forward.
Well, it's because it's not in it.
Exactly.
That's because it's not in it. You have to pay $5 to get one encounter.
What was that, Milo? Sorry, one.
Spiritomb, mate.
Oh, is it? Is it?
Yeah, it's in the $5 research right at the very end. I do wonder whether they might just drop a surprise raid day for something like it, maybe.
Possibly.
Like,
I'd love
It'd be
that.
nice if they did.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I remember that because they released it in 2019, I think, and then in 2020, the year of COVID, released the shiny. And you are right, it was everywhere.
Quest
and
Hunt.
I've just looked, and I've got a shiny Spiritomb. The fact that I've got one, that must have mean it was semi-easy to
There
catch.
were quests everywhere.
Yeah, because obviously this was COVID, so back in my vlogging days. But I'm pretty sure if I've got one, that's why I saw a lot of stuff on Twitter and social media about, oh my god, can't believe they've not released Spiritomb again. And I thought, damn man, I must have been a bang out to get my shiny, or maybe just lucky.
Well, I haven't got one, and I did loads of them.
Oh, there
so
you go.
Mark got shafted on the RNG back in the day.
Casuals always win.
Indeed they do, Marky boy. But as Ian alluded to, there is another little event to round out, well, I guess the Halloween kind of season, and he was last year the only man who could pronounce it. So over to you, Ian, to talk about a yellow-flowered ghost.
Yes, absolutely. So, to bookend the Halloween season, we have the Day of the Dead event, Dia de Muertos. That'll run from when the Halloween event finishes, 10 a.m. on Tuesday, November the 1st, and that'll run through to Wednesday, November the 2nd at 8 p.m. So you've got like a day and a half just over on this event. Not a big event at all, but Coops will be happy to know that Duskull will be released wearing some sort of... I can't even pronounce it. It's in Mexican, some sort of crown, some sort of hat. So Coops is getting excited. I can see. You'll also have Dusclops wearing that crown and Dusknoir wearing that crown as well. So make of that what you will. Event bonuses. Lure modules activated during this event will last for 90 minutes. So you get a little bit extra on that. Double catch candy And Incense, excluding the daily adventure Incense, will also last for 90 minutes as well. There will be, Coops' favourite, a collection challenge. And Wild Encounters will be Cubone, which can be shiny.
Ian's favourite Shundo, Chinchu, that can be shiny.
Indeed.
My favourite flower, shiny Sunkern.
The Pokemon that definitely hasn't been featured in load events and community days, Roselia.
The Pokemon that I got a Schlundo lucky trade from Milo on during last week's community day, Litwick, which again, obviously is now shiny.
And the Pokemon that actually makes this event quite relevant, and I'm going to grind hard for it, Swirlix, that can be shiny.
Yay.
And of course, at the bottom of every article, if you're lucky, you might encounter the following. A Duskull wearing I'm going to butcher this, but I'm going to give it a go, a Sempashushil crown, which can be shiny, Drifloon, which can be shiny, and of course your mask, which can be shiny. So yeah, some very random wild encounters there.
Yeah, and speaking of random encounters, Instance and Lure modules will give you the following spawns. Cubone, which can be shiny.
Coops' favourite flower, Sunkern, that can be shiny.
The Evolutions, Sunflora, which can't.
If you want the XLs. I seem to have got the same one. Roselia again.
Drifloon, which it can be shiny, and I love that little yellow balloon.
Rolly loves it.
Yamask, that can be shiny.
And of course, the one which Mark will be grinding on hard at Swirlix.
If you are supremely lucky during the Incense that you drop or the lure module that you activate, you can encounter a Houndoom, which could be shiny, and of course that Duskull wearing that, I'm not going to even try and pronounce the word crown.
Just insert my attempt.
Yes, I will. My brain goes to Campari.
And soda.
Yeah. Sempashuchil.
We move on to the field research task encounters, starting with Cubone, that can be shiny.
How have you done this 3 times in a row? It's Roselia again.
You can't be trusted with any other Pokemon name.
No. She just stuck with fucking Roselia. Oh, great.
And of course, Litwick.
Well, you know what, Milo? It's happened to me as well, because if you're lucky with that, you can encounter the Houndoom that can be shiny and the Duskull wearing the crown that can be shiny as well. And there's only one man that could talk about 1-star raids, so I'm passing this over to the mega connoisseur.
So you can get it in the wild. If you're lucky, you can encounter it from a field research task. You can get it off your Incense and your lure. But if you're really unlucky, you're not getting it, you can raid for it in a 1-star raid as well.
We might as well. Can we just edit this and just go, right, this Mexican event, you can just get a Duskull.
We should just call it the Duskull event.
Literally. And then, of course, for 3-star raids, you can get Dragonite, mine and Daxy's favourite, Shableye, which can be shiny.
Shableye.
And then, of course, shiny Drudigon, which hasn't been in raids for ages. And, of course, I mentioned earlier about Origin Form, Giratina, and the Mega Raids. Ian, I'll let you end off, because this is actually quite a cool end to the article, actually.
Yeah, so there's going to be avatar items, so you'll be able to dress up your avatar with some pretty cool sort of, well, I'm guessing they're either masks or face paintings, and obviously that's what the Day of the Dead is, one of the things that they paint the faces to, like skulls and stuff, so hence why Duskull is everywhere during this event.
Okay, yeah, nice.
Nice.
Personally, don't have anything against this little event, to be honest. I know we've kind of shat on it last year.
Right. I mean, those of us that work won't get much time to play it, but...
Sucks to be you. Sorry. I personally like the sort of limited run little costume thing. As Marky Boy says, like, Swirlix was only really available in that Japan Go Fest.
Gorgeous little chocolate shiny, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a gorgeous little shiny. Very few people got it on the finale event, so I'll definitely be chasing that thing.
That's the one to chase, I think. Yeah.
What do we normally say, boys? Don't we normally say it's a very inoffensive?
Yes. Yeah, we do. Coops.
Inoffensive.
I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, I think it looks all right.
And I'm sure, Marky, you'll be raiding for the Duskull with the 3 yellow flowers on its head. Yeah.
You know what? I'd love it if there was like photos and images around the world of this festival, like where they take place and the people are wearing those crowns on it. And we go, it is a real thing. I hope so.
I think it must be a real thing for it to, yeah.
If someone's wearing a Duskull thing as a head with the flower crown, that'd be amazing.
That'd be genius. It'd be lovely to get it. I mean, it doesn't evolve, does it? I guess it just does it evolve? It does evolve, doesn't it?
Yeah. It gets like a 3-stage. That's the thing. So you need 3 shinies if you're going to hunt this thing to get the family done. So
well, then It mega evolves as well, doesn't it?
Into Mega Bellend, doesn't it? Something like that.
Mega Bellend.
Oh my god.
Mega Bellend.
Isn't this event sorry, I should say it the other end. Isn't the film Coco, the Disney film Coco,
I think it is based around
this time of year?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Didn't I say that last year? Amazing film, by the way.
And also The Day of the Dead is featured in Spectre as well, the James Bond film.
It is. It's the opening sequence of Spectre.
It is, yeah.
I'm having some mad deja vu. I think you said that too as well.
I think we both said the same things last year.
Shall we just cut and paste last year?
Copy paste.
Yeah, well, listen. Let's listen. If Niantic fucking copied and pasted the event and Halloween, let's copy and paste the episode. Why not?
We'll dig out the archives. Anyway, those are some future events to potentially look forward to. But we need to dive back, boys, for a discussion about post-Litwick Com Day elite raids. Mm-hmm. I know there's been a lot of talk, a lot of bits and pieces on social media. We certainly discussed at the time about these elite raids popping up. What happened with them? Were they released kind of the right way? What do we think of the format?
No. The answer's no.
Your answer's no. Short and concise. I like it.
I was going to save some time in the edit.
It is. I'm very happy. Hooper Unbound was dropped in these raids, which took 24 hours to hatch. So they blocked gyms for 24 hours and then spawned for 30 minutes.
Didn't only block EX gyms, if I remember right.
Was that correct? That could be correct, so. Yes. But they hatched on the Sunday at either 11 a.m., 2 p.m. or 5 p.m. Sort of random to see which one was which. But, I mean, Ian and I actually did a double. We had a double that hatched at 11 in the morning. What did you think, Ian?
I think the premise is actually quite good. I like it. It's kind of something different, kind of along the lines of the EX raids back in the day. I think the way it was implemented was completely wrong, but the actual idea of having like a mythical Pokemon spawn on the gym, it takes a decent group of players to take it down, and the fact that the next part I'm going to say is you could get rare spawns. Now in the UK we didn't get rare spawns. I think the rarest thing we saw was a Minefu at a stop that despawned because it was outside of the very, very small 30-meter radius. But
and it wasn't just us. The whole of the UK, from what I heard, got shafted in terms of rare spawns.
But the Kanto birds were advertised saying that you would get the chance of Articuno at 11, Zapdos at 2 and Moltres at 5. Didn't see any of those out of the 2 I did in London and the 1 I did up here. The rare spawns basically were non-existent, so I think there was some problem there. But the idea, the sort of the acorn of the idea, I think is good, and I would actually like to see it be done properly.
What would you like to see then? What would you, as we go around, what did you not like? And then, like you said, what would you then, how would you make it better? Because like
the 24-hour eggs, I mean, the 24-hour eggs, they basically blocked gyms during a community day, which kind of triggered a lot of people because, okay, I kind of get why they launched it the day after a community day, but by blocking gyms on a community day, that then immediately impacts the spawns that you can get from the 4-star raids during the extra hours of gameplay. For example, we went for food after the community day. There was 2 gyms nearby. We couldn't do any of the raids because they were blocked with eggs. So that then affected the chances of getting extra Litwick. And I can tell you that Mr. Whitfield there was very triggered by this.
I was livid. I'd say that's probably the worst offence of this whole new mechanic was when they chose to do it and they blocked the gyms. This was literally like the one community day that people might have actually wanted to do these 4-star raids, because we've taken the piss out of like Staravia being in the raids to get extra Starly, and then obviously Boldor for Rog and Roller when we were up in Nottingham. We did a couple for Zweilous, but not very many because obviously Dino was not a new shiny. This was a new shiny, good Pokemon, good Com Day, and they blocked. In Ealing, we actually have a lot of EX gyms, a good sort of 7 or 8, and they all got blocked. Just implement it a bit better. Don't do it straight away during a community days like post-raid hour thing. It's not needed.
Yeah, the implementation wasn't the best. Now, the pool of rare spawns that they offer would have actually been really, really good. However, I did 3 raids for Hooper Unbound and didn't see anything that wasn't a regular normal spawn that was spawning at the time. So other than the XL for Hooper and actually getting Dex Hoopers, which are dead, and that you can't easily transfer because you can't transfer a mythical, so you have to transfer it to Pokemon Home if you want to get rid of it. So anyone that did like 20 of these things and just stuck with loads of them in the decks, and that's still got Pokemon Home. That's my issue with it. I think it could be implemented a lot better. The idea is great. I'm really behind it. It's a new mechanic to get people out raiding in person, which is what the game needs. And the little carrot that they dangled by these extra special spawns, or extra rare spawns, I should say, was good, but they never actually transpired now. Off of that point I've just made, I've seen a lot of sort of Twitter warriors, fucking keyboard warriors say, we should be able to invite people to these. It doesn't work like that. There's no point being able to invite. It's not what this is about. It's a new style of raid. It's in person, and it's how it should be. I know with EX, people compare it to EX raids where you could invite people, but this isn't about that. It's totally different. So, good idea, badly implemented, which is kind of Niantic's MO a lot of the time, to be fair.
I want to hear what the rural trainer has to say on the matter.
Speaking of rural, Marky, did you know they've literally just now they've tweeted out that rural players are getting more spawns? Have you seen that?
Have they?
Yeah. So GG's, bro.
Amazing.
You're going to be getting more spawns coming your way, bro, from Incensed and stuff. So yeah.
Oh
GG's.
yeah. I see it here, mate. Yeah. Oh yeah. Cool. GG's. Yeah. I agree with Ian up to a point. I didn't do any of the elite raids purely because none of them appeared near me as a sort of rural trainer. There wasn't anywhere near. I used Campfire, which is now accessible to most people, if not everybody, and was horrified to see that there wasn't even an elite raid in the 2 towns that I'm nearest to either. And so I'll put it into some sort of perspective. I've got 6 gyms.
So take it that you've got no EX gyms near you then.
No, so I've got six gyms in the village I live in. 2 nearest towns between them, I've got about 30 gyms between them, and not one elite raid appeared in both of these places. So as Ian said, great idea, awful way of releasing it, and I'll learn from that. And I know Milo said this as well. You know, I don't think that remote raiding is necessarily a thing. However, if you don't live near an EX raid eligible gym and you can't get to it within sort of 10, 15 miles of where you live, then I think that needs to be an option, and there needs to be some sort of consideration put into that. I don't think they'll be able to work. I don't think it's that easy to put that into the game, unfortunately. But I certainly had a bit of a debate on my Twitter about the elite raids and the rural players, and there was a few people that had similar situations. So it wasn't unique to me. Luckily, it was a crap Pokemon that they put in it, and everyone's got one, or they should have one. And I like the idea about future ones. I didn't see anyone in the UK get rare spawns like you guys said. What you say is valid about Litwick, but you did have another 18 gyms to pick from that probably still had the raids pop up on for the continuing the community day. It couldn't have been all of them that had elite eggs on, was it?
The only thing is it's more like a circumstantial thing of where we chose to go and have dinner, etc. It's like the 2 gyms that would have given boosted spawns of where we were. Some people popped out and did the raid to activate the spawns, but then after those raids and those spawns finished, they got blocked by the elite raids. We did go and do some other Alampant raids to go and get the extra spawns after dinner, but it's just sort of like, you do need to eat after a 2 to 5 common day. You do need to go and have dinner. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it might have been worse, for example, if you had 1 or 2 EX gyms that were your gyms, and then done. That's it. You can't do Lampant raids or whatever if you wanted extra spawns. It's not really the worst thing in the world, but I do agree with you, Marky Boy, in the sense that I think they need to tweak it for people who don't have EX gyms. Not everybody has an EX gym in their village, their town, or whatever. They need to take a leaf perhaps out of the EX raid system. Maybe you can invite 1 person to join you, and that would allow people who don't have these raids available to join in that way. But the point of making it local only, I saw people from my local crew I haven't seen in 2 years, and they came out to do these raids. If they keep them fresh and sort of non-repetitive, it's every once in a while.
These are going to be rare, aren't they? Realistically, they're not going to be every week.
Because when they dropped, I was personally really, really worried that they were going to be spawning all the time, constantly, and then you just have raid hour, tough shit. You've got block gyms, etc. Thankfully, that was not the case, but planning it a bit better.
That's a good point. They only lasted for 30 minutes at a time, so realistically, if you stayed for the 15 minutes of enhanced rare spawns, you would only actually get 2 raids in per session, and that was assuming that you're actually fairly close to 2 gyms that actually had the eggs on them.
But it could be a really interesting system, keeping it local, bringing people back together to do local raiding, and if they keep the raid bosses rotating, so it's not Hooper Unbound next time, it's maybe if they bring in other mythicals, or if there's potential to put the mega legendaries and primal legendaries into these to keep them sort of exclusive. I think it's an interesting system, but as we've said, coined the phrase, implemented poorly.
Do you think these are going to replace EX raids? Do you think that?
I think they are.
I think it's a system to replace them, personally.
They're the updated EX raids. But Koopsy, you've been sitting there very patiently.
No, so I've been listening, and I do want to apologise to Mr. Waterfall. He did mention earlier Twitter keyboard warriors. Just want to go back to that point. So when Niantic released this article on their official social media and in-game, I'd say about 10 days ago, 9-10 days ago, I replied to it with this: please give up trying to get people back to raiding in person. Times have changed. Also, huge tip for you, it definitely won't work for Hooper. Now, as you can see there, it got over 500 likes, which was like a fifth of what the likes that the actual Pokemon Go did. So I was like, God damn, I was like, people definitely agree with me. Yeah, which was pretty nice. I was very angry. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought, oh my God, imagine if they did these 24-hour eggs when it's Yveltal or Rayquaza or Mewtwo when the Megas come out, whatever. A few days went by, then we had, as I'm sure we can all agree, the most incredible day playing Litwick Community Day. Us boys supporting Milo, supporting Mark, supporting Ian, and supporting us as a podcast. Boys, I'm going to say we had nearly 50 people there.
I would say it's somewhere between 30 and 50
it was incredible. And thank you to everyone that came out, and because we all made the effort. Now, I'm conflicted, right? Because it's a bit like what you guys are saying. The way that it was implemented, and Ian, he cracked me up because it's so true. Like always, they bring out really good stuff, but in the shittest way possible. But I'm a huge advocate for remote raids. I think the world has changed. I think the game has changed, and I think the way that people play the game has changed. Whether that's a bad thing or a good thing, I think this desperation to bring back the communities to when it comes to raiding, it really needs to just stop. I think, when we have things like Kanto Tour, Johto Tour, or Go Fests, or Safari Zones, or big community days like Litwick, like Gibble, you are naturally going to get loads and loads and loads of people there. Of course you are, because they are incredible events. I think this thing that people go around in groups like in 2017 every night after work, it doesn't happen anymore, right? It doesn't happen. I am on the side of, I do think we should be allowed to invite people if we're there to remote raids. Maybe they could do it that you have to be at the raid to start the raid, but then you can invite people, because when you were there you couldn't invite people. But I just think that some people live in a town, in an area like where I live. No one in the 4 or 5 streets around me not that I know of, play the game. People in the area, in the miles and miles out, because I've built a community and I've made that happen with other people. But what I'm saying is there'll be people that don't know on their road who plays the game, who don't know in their area who plays the game. There will be people with social anxiety, people that have kids, have lives, that they can tap on a phone in the corner of the room or in the kitchen, but they can't go out for 2-3 hours on a Saturday or a Sunday because they've got other commitments, but they can secretly in their bag or in their pocket tap on their phone, right? There'll be people, that have got disabilities, that have to be in wheelchairs or anything like that. There will be so many different people, and I really, really, really do think, and also there'll be people that will be lazy and can't be asked. I'm not saying that there's not. I'm not saying that they don't exist as well, because I'm one of them. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is I really, really think it's such a ridiculous idea for all of this. No remote raids. I just think as a community and as a game and Niantic as a company, we have to let that go now. We really have to stop. No remotes, or you're not allowed to. We just need to stop that. The game has become better since remote raiding has introduced. They've earned more money since remote raiding has been introduced. And I think people enjoy raiding more when there's that option of remote and in person. Like when we're doing a community day, we can use a few passes in person. But if I'm having a chilled Thursday night and we're doing the podcast and a new Shinies Legendary's been released, we're all here raiding. We got our patrons, everyone on Twitter, who I can't see where the bad thing is in remote raiding. And that's all. I think, like, it's just to wrap it up, nice idea, implemented horrifically, but we really need to get away from this toxic view on remote raiding. There is nothing wrong with remote raiding at all, and that's just my opinion.
Indeed. And I think that I said something similar, as you should, if you go there in person, maybe these elite raids, you're allowed to invite 1-2 people or something, like you did with the EX raid system. You could tag an invite to one person on your friends list. Yeah. That might make it more accessible. It's not going to completely change the format of what they're attempting to do in terms of making people join and come together to actually raid in person. But it would allow, like, Mark, who doesn't have EX gyms around where he is, he could then get in with the community and raid remotely to the elite raids. So there's definitely work to be done on the format.
The thing I do like about it is, like, I like the idea of an egg hatching or giving you 24 hours. I love that because that does give you time to coordinate if you've got them, like, say, in a vicinity. I like the idea of that, and it brings back that excitement of, like, when the legendaries first came out and those eggs appeared, and I was like, what the hell? Do you remember that when, like, the birds first arrived? Yep. I love that whole new egg, that big timer. It's like something's going to come out of this and we can coordinate, and I love that.
Just not 7 out of 10 gyms, though, innit?
Yeah.
And I'm going to make no friends here, but this is my genuine heartfelt view, is that not every raid should be remotable. This is a new mechanic for a new style of raid. So I personally don't think remote should be. If people want to raid these, then you can, obviously people like Mark, there's a slight exception that there's nothing near him, but you can go to them like EX raids when they first started. I'll give you an example. On Sunday, I was with Milo for the first 11 o'clock raid. Every lobby we jumped in was full with 20 people. That was without inviting people. Every lobby full. When I came back up north here, I saw people, I mean, granted, I was horrendously hungover and stayed in my car, but I saw people at these raids that I'd not seen for months at these raids that had actually made the effort to go to them because that's the way to do them. I think it's a great way to dangle a carrot and get people out again. And I know, Coops, you say that the game's better because of remote raiding. I actually, in some ways, disagree, because there are some people that, not everybody, but there are some people that won't make it, that, I'll remote it, I can't be bothered to walk down the road. Whereas you get that interaction is what the game is all about to me.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. That is fine, though. It is fine to go, I'm fucking tired, I can't be arsed to walk round to these 4 gyms. I'm going to just pay £3. That's what I'm saying. And it's hear me out. I'm not calling you toxic. I'm just saying that toxic view of the remote raids. They've not, like, it's if you are a hundo, if you are like Milo will sit here and say to you that he enjoys raiding now way more than he did because he can do 10 times the amount.
That's
because you can join friends from.
I enjoy raiding in person.
At this point, we're muddying the water in terms of, because we know that remote raiding is not going to go anywhere. We've fully confirmed that. Whether it gets nerfed in the near future is a different matter. But the conversation is about these elite raids.
Which is precisely what I was saying. And these particular raids, I don't think should be remotable.
It is a new format. And personally have no issue with them being local only, but I do think there's a compromise. Like we said, the EX system meant you could invite one person.
Originally,
and maybe you coordinate.
That came later.
I know, but it was at the last point of when EX raids were made available. Maybe they can implement it, because obviously this is only the first wave.
I'm
so
going
the
back
first
to the
wave of
original
elite
point.
raids.
Remember that a big part of this is the rare spawns, which didn't happen. So you would only get, for example, in this case, the Hooper raid. You wouldn't get the other half of what they're selling by actually being there.
Yeah, well, that's your choice. That's your choice. If you decide you want to, for example, take the invite from one person, you get 24 hours notice, like you say, with the raid and the swirling animation popping up at the top. You can coordinate with local groups, etc., and organise and say, maybe if someone is unavailable, they're at work, they can't make it. We don't know exactly what everyone's schedule is. Some people can't play the weekend com days, for example. They work Saturday, Sunday, etc. The one invite, you can coordinate with your local people and send it out to one individual to allow them to get access, and it means that people have a bit more availability to the system. So there's work to be done, gentlemen. I think we can conclude that.
And listen, I get it. They're special, yeah. New raids, I'm all up for new stuff. You guys know this, and I totally can see one side of the coin. Like my one that was like, what about all these people that can't do the raids? Let's just wrap it up in they can't get to the raids, hence they'd have to remote them. But then I also get the flip side, if you draw a line down the middle, that tough luck. If you can't make the raid, there's a fine line between being like, sorry, deal with it, get on with it, then it's like a game that we all love and we all want to play.
I think we could probably talk about remote raiding on another thing. I think there's quite a lot still there, I reckon.
I know there's a conversation to go for. We've talked about it in the past. We could talk about it until the cows come home, or the inflatable cows, as Coops would like them to be.
Ooh.
But
I like what you did there. I like that.
You like the callback? We'll have to see whether they bring back elite raids anytime soon, or if they bring in a different raid boss. We don't know.
Bro. Sorry, dude. I'm really sorry to interrupt. I'm looking at Mark's camera, and I'm not sure if above his head if they're udders or whether that's. Is that Mark's home?
They're my pair of poles, Coops. They're my uddery poles that you can see on me there, my friend. Milo, it was. I think your question was actually, and I do apologise. I was quite aggressive at the beginning of tonight's episode. I think I've mellowed as the red wine has been sunken down as the evening's gone on.
I liked the passion.
I think it was actually a really good question. And the poll was, which of these modes of transport would be best to play Pokemon Go on if it was mandatory, is how I worded the question. Little man with a monocle, as always, and the hashtag Mark's poll, hashtag Pokemon Go. And here we go. So in last spot was the inflatable flying animals, which I think's a little bit sad.
I think when they listen to this episode, they'll want to change their answer. I think written down, it makes no sense.
Anyway, inflatable flying animal with 12%. In second place was Space Hopper with 15%, which means joint leaders, Ian, the Segway and the cow with a joint 37% of the vote.
What?
No way.
2/3 of people would rather play on a Segway or a cow.
So I guess you've got to, if you're combining your efforts, you've now got to ride a cow on Segways.
Two-legged cow, rear legs on the Segway.
That's quality. I love that you used that in the poll, Marky Boy. Fantastic. And thanks, Marky Boy, for whipping it out like a lasso.
I'll take the tiny finger.
Moving on. Obviously, we've got our favourite section of the show. We round out every show with this section. It's, of course, time for hashtag
Shinies of the Week.
We do, mate. It's my favourite segment, so I'm going to start it off. So I've got one here from Dreepy at DreepyETH. I hatched a shiny Rockruff. Hashtag Shinies of the Week. Hashtag Pokemon Go, which is mad, bro. Absolutely
That's
mad.
mental.
Yeah. 10k, right? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
10k.
Yeah. So GG's.
Friend of the show, a genuinely great egg. Furby Andrew, shiny on day one of the event. I'll take it. Hashtag Pokemon Go Halloween, Pokemon Go, or Pokemon Go. Hashtag Pogo, hashtag Shiny Pokemon, hashtag Shinies of the Week. Galarian Yamask, shiny.
Yes. Oh, bro, it looks so sick, eh?
That is sick, to be fair. That is sick.
Absolutely. And Gabriella's been back on. First day of the Halloween event went well, I'd say. No? Question mark, smiley face. Hashtag Pokemon Go Halloween 2022. Hashtag Shiny. Hashtag Shinies of the Week at Incensed Podcast. And Gabriella got the shiny Galarian Yamask, a Hundo Yamask, and a Hundo Pumpkaboo. So GG's, Gabriella.
Damn. All in one post.
It's a good Halloween event.
Already.
Part 1, day 1. Very good.
I have to give a shout out to the guy who's become known as the Italian tripod. It's I am Pyrrhus or Francesco. Hashtag Shinies of the Week at the Incensed Podcast. Just got this while watching you, and it's actually a shiny Spinder.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's sick. I did see that.
Shiny
Yeah,
Spinder, which is a rare one.
Yeah.
That is.
So
You killed that.
the magic green
Holy
drunk
dolly.
panda, who would definitely be my wingman buddy. We absolutely love that. So it is our favourite section of the show for a very good reason. We get to see what you guys get while listening to our episodes. So thank you very much, everybody who's written in. And that is all we've got time for, peeps. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, defo drop a 5-star review. We hugely appreciate it when you support the podcast. And if you haven't already, hit the little plus or follow button on wherever you're listening to us on, because you don't want to miss when a fresh episode drops. It will be downloaded immediately to you. Of course, follow us on our socials at Incensed Podcast, Instagram and Twitter, so you can get involved with hashtag Shinies of the Week and also grab Mark's poll with vigour. We obviously have to say a big thank you very much to everybody on the Patreon, the bronze and silver tiers. Thank you very much. And indeed, a particular big thank you to everyone on the gold tier, HermesNinja, TishSmith, JB, CliffordMert, DerbyRuss, Kerry and Zachary, Connolly, Dom the Ragnarok, and Kimber, whom without we wouldn't be able to make the show sound as good as it does. So thank you very much. I think it's safe to assume, boys, that we didn't get anything while we were recording the episode. I assume not. So on that terrible disappointment for us, it's time to end. But we will catch you next week, hopefully, as we enter our 90s. Do take care.
I choose you!